And welcome everyone to another episode of Bangers and Match. My name is Simon Allen. I'm the Dalai Lama of soccer here in beautiful Burbank at Buchanan's. As is the norm, next to me is Alexi. To my left, FoodBall Harry. So you guys remember when you could smoke in pubs, even in America?
Ooh,
long time
ago.
ago, right? Yeah, a long time
I
ago,
didn't
right?
smoke, so I wouldn't know.
I never smoked a day in my life. But the day, like, after the law came into effect, right? My cousin Pat is here from London. He's like, we should go to the pub. I'm like, of course we go to Buchanan. It's like the best pub around, right? It's my local. So we come over here, right? And we're sitting down, and my cousin's jonesing for a cigarette, right? He's like, oh, I need a cigarette. So he talks to the bartender, and he goes, listen, do you sell cigarettes? And the guy goes, sorry, you know, we don't sell cigarettes anymore, right? He doesn't say anything, you know, we don't sell cigarettes anymore. And my cousin goes, well, is there a shop around here that I can go and buy some? And the guy's really nice behind the bar. And he goes, yeah, there's a couple of blocks down the road. You know, there's a store that sells cigarettes. You're more than welcome to go. And I'm like, all right, bye, cousin Pat. See ya. You know, and he goes. And he's gone for like an hour and a half, right? So where is he?
Got lost, did he?
No, he's just gone. So we're here having a pint, talking, having the best food around. We're watching a little bit of football. And he comes back, and I'm like, hey, where have you been? And he goes, oh, man, every place was closed. I had to go like 10 blocks this way, but I finally got a packet of cigarettes. So he comes,
Wants to open it,
plops,
right?
yeah, plops over into the bar, and the bartender's like, yeah, what do you have? And he goes, oh, let me have a Guinness. And he takes the pack, and he tries to open it up, and the bartender goes, oh, yeah, you can't smoke that in here. and I go, why? And he goes, oh, there's a new law, and it just happened today. Today's the first day. And the guy goes, my cousin goes, well, couldn't you have told me that before I went 10 blocks? And the guy was so like apologetic. He was like, hey, this one's on the house.
Nice.
The kind of family atmosphere we have at Buchanan.
Yeah, I've been a couple of times. You know, I just live down the road. I really like their desserts. It's really scrummy, and their food, as always, is pretty good.
I used to work down the street. This was years ago,
Yeah.
and I used to love coming here for lunch.
Well, as you can see behind us, there's a sign that says they've been here for 40 years. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're a staple of the community over here in Burbank. Fantastic stuff.
Yep.
Family owned, great people. And I'm going to tell you right now, we should stop talking and maybe get an appetizer in, or at least some beers.
Hey guys, nice to see you again.
Hello.
Right, what can I get you to drink? Beers?
Of course.
Beers all round.
Yeah.
What do you recommend for me?
The last time you was here, you had the old speckled hen.
This is the kind of, thank you so much. I'll
Personal
take that.
service.
Wow, thank you, mate.
Thank you, mate.
I remember his face.
I'll take a lager, please.
A lager? A heart? How's that?
Sounds good.
And I'm going to have whatever non-alcoholic beer you have.
Okay, we have an outdoors.
Nice, I'll
Yeah.
take that. I'm a designated driver. And what do you recommend for appetizer?
Right,
I mean, we're really hungry.
Yeah.
Appetizer-wise, we have what's called the Porkshire Cheeses.
I've had
wow.
that, yeah.
Yeah? You tried that?
You guys will love that.
interesting.
Yeah.
All right, I'll bring those out for you.
All right, can't wait. Thanks,
Appreciate
mate.
it. Got some food coming.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So here are the Porkshire Cheeses. Here's the Yorkshire pudding.
Right,
We cut it in half.
right.
We put some pulled pork on there and cheese on top, and we melt the cheese.
Very nice.
Barbecue sauce on the side.
Thank you.
Great
Okay,
stuff.
guys, enjoy.
Cheers.
Gentlemen.
Cheers to episode 6 of
Bangers and Match.
This is a very nice lager.
It is.
It's crisp,
Well-
very balanced flavor.
So right now, I know you can't smell this at home, you can't taste this at home, but I'm gonna show you. It's like it's Yorkshire pudding. Some of the best pulled pork I've ever had with some cheese. It's fantastic. We're talking about obviously Liverpool. There's no doubt in my mind that Liverpool were there to play. They weren't. A lot of pundits were saying, well, they should be. They're just lucky to be there. They should feel lucky. That was ridiculous. And they were there to play. They were there to essentially dominate. We saw during this match, right, just how good the three guys up front are for Liverpool.
Agreed.
Okay, we cannot sit here and say that Mo Salah is not up there with Cristiano Ronaldo. We've talked about this before, or Lionel Messi.
Well, it would have made sense. When you scored as many goals as he has, he is like their new talisman. I mean, he's playing so great. Firmino, I think, is now picked up a level. I hope to see him in the World Cup. And Mane, he missed a few chances, but that's the whole thing with Liverpool. They're a wheel. They're just going to keep churning.
There was a couple of bursts of speed and dribbling that I saw in Mo that for a second I thought it was Messi.
Right.
I was like, is that Messi on the field?
Well, guys, listen. Rumor has it that Mane is actually a little bit injured.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we know that Ox got injured, so he's not going to be playing. So now, how does that let's just assume that Mane is injured. He's not going to play. I doubt it, but let's see. Assume. How does that injury affect the next match? Second leg.
To be honest, when I saw him go down,
Yeah.
when he went down and he got injured, I was like, wow, that's gonna shake up Liverpool.
Right.
But
it didn't.
It didn't,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
So, and I think that's where Jurgen Klopp's leadership comes into play. And they were prepared, and they just didn't skip a beat. They moved forward.
So you don't think that's going to, it's just a continuation, there's nothing's going to change for the next
Absolutely
thing.
not. No.
Right.
Well, they've got a 13-2 goal difference for home.
Right.
They've won 3 times at home.
Yeah.
Away from home, they've got a 1-2 advantage.
Right.
I don't see them, losing 3 goals. They
Right.
haven't done it at all, hardly this season. And they look too powerful. They look too aggressive, too powerful. Roma's not going to be able to match them.
I'll tell you.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
We
go ahead.
said that about Barcelona, though.
Right. And we've
mean,
also
we'll
we also have
Yeah.
to see that.
Let me just interject
Okay.
because you say that, but Barcelona, getting an old team, they did not have the horse, driven sort of belief that they could do it, and they don't have that energy anymore. Iniesta's retiring, Messi's getting on us slightly, and when your centre back, who's meant to be your defensive talisman, is getting outplayed, you're going to know you're in a tough game. But I don't see that happening
Well,
with
listen,
Liverpool.
let me go back to Roma, okay? Roma had an off night. Because remember Manolo, where he was a hero the previous match? He had an off match,
Correct.
all right?
I think the whole defense had off.
Listen,
match.
the back line for Roma completely, and you're absolutely right, could not handle Liverpool because they couldn't handle Salah. And you saw that. That's true because when Jurgen Klopp, wrongly in my opinion, took off Salah, that's when the entire back line got a little bit more freedom and started more attacks, and then they gave up 2 goals.
Well, that is true, but I would say, you want your best player to be 100% injury-free.
It doesn't. I mean, sure, but that again, we saw for a fact that the 2 goals were scored when Salah came off. When the back line has freedom, that they can essentially move
100%.
forward because Salah's not there, giving them trouble.
I think Mo Salah is so important to Liverpool that Liverpool can't afford for him in any way to get injured. And I think it was a wise decision by Klopp. Granted, 2 goals were conceded in that time, and I totally agree with you. But I just don't see Roma scoring and outbeating Liverpool.
You know what? I agree with you, mate. I think any team or any coach would not want that. Oh, we're gonna order some food. There we go.
Oh
How's
man,
the appetizers?
it was so good.
It
Listen,
really was.
I know you guys are famous for these appetizers.
Right, we are,
I know it's fantastic, but we are ready for some
Yeah.
Ready for
proper
some
pub
main
food.
course?
Yeah.
FoodBall Harry's hangry.
What can I get you?
I think I'm gonna try your Towering Scotch Pie Burger. I mean, that just sounds.
That's one of our specials.
So I want to see if you remember what I usually have. So, was it
Bangers
test?
and mash. What we do, we batter one of them, and one's without batter.
Nice,
I'll take it.
Yeah. For you?
Fish and chips?
Fish and chips.
nice.
That's
All right.
that's one
An
of our
original.
signature dishes. Okay.
Guys, the other match that we want to talk about, obviously, is Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and that was a tough match. But it had some beautiful goals, beautiful football. But it was so hard for me to watch Lewandowski actually just like not play like Lewandowski. This is a guy I saw live playing for Poland, and he was amazing. But playing, what is this?
We have the bangers and mash for you.
Oh my goodness, look at this. I'm gonna put it right here so the camera can see. Look at this. All right.
And this is
Wait a second. Let me
Towering Scotch Pie
What
Burger.
is
Just a small burger.
Tell me about
So
this.
it's two patties.
Okay.
We have a Scotch pie,
Okay.
which is ground beef in a
This
flaky
thing right here,
pastry.
right?
Yeah.
That's the
What
one.
is it?
It's seasoned ground beef,
Yeah.
and it's wrapped around a pastry,
Wow.
crusty pastry, and then we have grilled onions,
Wow.
lettuce,
Wow.
and Thousand Island sauce.
I didn't even know where to start.
Cut it in half.
Card in half because
This-
you want.
Let's start. That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
we should just tuck in.
That's it.
Thanks
Enjoy
very
it.
much.
I think I'm gonna hit it.
Listen, the bit of genius that I like about this match, there's a player on the bench that can easily score goals who hasn't been scoring goals.
Thank you very much.
Gareth Bale. Thank you. Zinedine Zidane, who just maybe a month ago was like the rumor that he'd get fired from his job, who just wasn't doing well for Real Madrid, brings on Benzema, brings on these young players and says, "You go do your thing," and absolutely changes the game. I mean, let's be honest. That the Marcelo goal is essentially one of the best goals I've seen.
It was a great goal.
It was like we've been talking about him for like what
for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and this guy is going into the World Cup thinking that he's going to be a star of Brazil, because who knows what's going on with Neymar. We got we got Cristiano letting the ball go by him and not doing a bicycle kick so his teammate can score a goal. So
well, at least have a chance.
Yeah, but I mean that's unlike Cristiano. I mean, he's the guy that wants to score all the goals. And then we got Zidane, who I think he's got to be. There should be no more talks of him getting fired ever after this match.
Well, look, Harry, what do I keep telling you? Soccer, football, it's about small things. Bayern Munich are 1-0 up in the 30th odd minute. Ribery through on goal, an excellent pass. Real Madrid is taken out of the game, and his touch lets him down, and the opportunity goes. And that is what games are won and lost on. You know, to be fair, Ribery is 35. He's had a great 10 years at Bayern Munich. He hasn't scored that many goals this season, and he hasn't really played that many minutes, to be fair. But, you know, when you're talking about you're going into the World Cup, you want to be on top form. Missing chance like that, it's going to be on his mind.
Well, I'll tell you what, we saw a great Bayern Munich team. They were ready. I think they had a game plan. But this is where you see an experienced Champions League team come back and be able to basically tear your game plan apart.
Which team are you talking about?
Real Madrid. So you're talking about two champions.
Okay, I'll tell you this right now. There was no Nadal, no Alba, no Neuer. Robben was injured. Boateng was injured. This wasn't a regular Bayern Munich team that Real Madrid was playing. So if you are thinking that was an even match, then you know maybe that second leg is going to be a little bit more important, a little bit tighter than that you might suspect. However, nothing is as tight as that hamburger right over there.
I really tried tackling it.
Guys, listen, I need you guys to eat this because, well, first of all, I need you to eat because I don't know how you're going to do it.
The meat, medium, well done, and this pie with the ground beef, just right.
I'm going to tell you, I'm a bangers and mash kind of guy. You know, I've ordered that a few times during this series of bangers and mash. And I got to tell you, I'm really impressed. The dough around this is really just perfect. It's not too oily, it's not too crispy, it's just right. The flavor isn't gonna stick to your craw like a lot of other like sort of really bad sausages out there. And it goes down really easy, and it's not too spicy to where you're gonna feel like you're gonna get heartburn tomorrow morning.
I don't think we've ever had a deep fried banger.
I don't think we've had a deep fried banger. I don't think so either. I haven't had it. I certainly haven't had one, and so this is very interesting.
How's your fish and chips, Alexi?
Eating this just takes me back to Chiswick. Talking about too good is Mr. Wenger's too good to be true long career at Arsenal finally coming to an end.
Well, certainly, Alexi. He's saying it is. Arsene Wenger, and we're going to get a lot of emails, is Arsenal. He's set the pace. He's set the culture there.
Right.
You know, he's essentially been the reason why, whether you like it or not, they've been successful. You know, and so to get his replacement will be, I think, very, very difficult. But Arsene Wenger is the face of Arsenal, and I really can't see someone coming in really quickly and just like gangbusters and taking over. You know, this is a guy that got Arsenal to Champions League final only to lose to Barcelona. This is the guy with FA Cups, Premier League Cups, Community Shields. That's not a small feat.
Well, and look at the players that have gone through. You know, we're talking about Van Persie, Thierry Henry. I mean, that's just to say. Yeah, I mean, so many great players.
How about this? When France won the 1998 World Cup, papers in England said Arsenal won the World Cup. That's how important Arsenal was to the French national team. So that's not something to sort of shrug your, go, oh yeah, well, it's just easily replaceable.
Well, he's a technical guy, and that's what he was doing before he joined Arsenal. He was on the FIFA committee, analysing the World Cup. You know, he impressed the Japanese. He went to Japan, and you got to give credit to the Arsenal chairman, David Dean, who spotted him in Japan when no one else did. And when he got signed on by Arsenal, everyone was talking about, who is this guy? I mean, he was not a world name, and he all of a sudden changed Arsenal's fortunes significantly for the better.
And even though he might have not had as many cups or trophies, I would not grade him on that, or label him not as much as a six. He's definitely top 5 coach for me in the world in the history.
Well, I would say so. Listen, so in 2011, I kind of knew that Arsene Wenger had outstayed his welcome at Arsenal. 2011, there was a thing called the Emirates Cup, which is still going on, and literally it's a tournament to where Arsenal. It's just a made-up tournament that Arsenal sort of makes up before the season, so they can win a trophy, put it in the cabinet, and play some matches, right?
30 seconds.
That year, pretty much Arsenal lost it, and the New York Red Bulls with Thierry Henry won it, and that's when I sort of figured out, like, no, I think it's time to go, and so it's taken, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years for people to come to that conclusion that he should have gone a long time ago, but he's going now, and we need to go ahead and literally see, well, who is going to replace the guy.
It's a big boots to fill, but I think it can be done.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of qualified. I mean, Harry, what do you think, man?
I always go back to pedigree, and I believe, talk about pedigree.
Famous Guinness Brownie.
Okay, wait, what's a Guinness Brownie, man?
Guinness Brownie is a brownie made with Guinness, just a little, and with the chocolate toppings.
Yeah.
We've added a Cadbury's flake sprinkled on top.
Oh, I love flakes.
Smarties, whipped cream, and ice cream.
Well, listen, for the folks who don't know what a flake is, it's like one of the best chocolates ever made in the history of chocolates, and it only can be found here.
Good luck, guys.
Harry,
Enjoy.
Thanks, man.
The brownie usually is too rich, but this is just right.
Yeah. And it almost feels like it's a brownie slash
A little bit of ice cream.
And it's almost like a brownie ice cream, but it's a brownie.
A bit of whipped cream.
And I gotta tell you, that flake didn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't it bring you back of it? Took you back of it. So we were talking about, who the replacement was for Arsene Wenger
Patrick Vieira.
takes it. He's Patrick Vieira.
The guy is a winner.
Okay.
Okay. He's won the World Cup in '98.
98.
Won the Euros after that.
Right. 2000.
He knows the philosophy that Arsene Wenger left behind. We've seen what has happened to those players that have left. Most recently, Alexi Sanchez, Ozil, and now...
Well, that's interesting. They're known for their young talent, right? Arsene Wenger's been like almost jokingly known, like Arsene Wenger won't sign you because you're not like 2 years old. Remember those jokes, But Patrick Vieira, he coached the reserve team at Manchester City, which is young. He's done a very good job at New York City FC in Major League Soccer.
the last 3 years, amazing job.
And you're saying he knows the philosophy. I say he's a long shot, but I don't think that it would be unheard of if that happened.
No, I think that's what they need. I don't believe they need a new shakeup.
Well,
I mean, look, sometimes new blood is good.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But I believe in pedigree.
That's fine. Simon, who do you think?
listen, to me, the guy I'm high on right now, the manager that I'm high on right now, is the manager from Borussia Dortmund. And the reason I really know about him is because he's the guy that followed Jurgen Klopp, right? He's the guy that came in 2015 at Borussia Dortmund, and he was handed some good talent, some young talent like Chris P, the U.S. international, who's doing really, really well there. He had star players that he brought in and he used well, and for whatever it's worth, he knew how to utilize guys like Aubameyang. He knew how to use guys that were on the German national team, and he knew how to use young players, which is essentially what Arsenal's all about, right? I mean, that's the philosophy. In like 2016/17 season, he got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, only to bow out to Monaco. So this is a guy that I think can really do it, and I think it's kind of like in vogue right now to look at guys who've been coaching in Germany. So I think that would be a guy pretty much, he's up there. It's Thomas Tuchel. I don't know, my German's not that great, but I think you can do it. Alexi, what do you think?
It's a funny that you should say, because I think the usual suspects for this Arsene Wenger position is either Ancelotti or Diego Simeone. But my gut feeling, if you want to take a long shot, Germany manager Joachim Löw. The guy's won the World Cup.
Right.
He is the body of bringing in the youth.
Right, it's true.
He is got maybe not a great club career,
Right.
but now he's won the World Cup,
Okay.
European Championships. He lost in the final to Spain. He understands what it means to win the biggest tournament, and no matter what anyone says, Champions League is dwarfed compared to the World Cup. I think he's after this World Cup, if he does well, everyone's going to want him. I think
If he doesn't do well?
he's still going to be wanted, because it can be the case that sometimes you underperform. Germany, I don't see them underperforming. but you know, he definitely has the type of pedigree and the building class that could go to Arsenal and make it a powerhouse.
And I don't disagree with you there, but I don't think, for example, a lot of these guys who are candidates right now are lifelong Arsenal managers, right? You're replacing a lifelong Arsenal manager, a guy that's been there longer than anyone in the history of Arsenal, and suddenly there's people being thrown out. Maybe it's Lowe, maybe it's, well, I don't know if it's Vieira, but maybe it's Ancelotti, that are literally 2-year, 3-year guys.
100%.
So I would like dismiss anyone that's one of those sort of like guys who goes out and gets paid a lot of money to work for a company for 3 years. With that said,
Ancelotti's got a great record.
I don't think we're going to see it. We don't see too many 20-year tenors or even 10-year tenors.
That is quite true. I actually agree with you. The days of like these long-term managers are quite over. But don't you want to at least get that, some sort of a manager that is going to give you 5 or 6 years, not 20 years, 6, 7 years.
The Emirates Stadium is an amazing stadium. You've got a great bunch of fans. Who wouldn't want to stay at Arsenal for a long time? You know?
I think Patrick Vieira is probably the best choice for that. Then he'll probably want to be there forever until he's 90 years old. With that said, let's wrap the show up. Let's do some predictions for the Champions League.
Well, funnily enough, you're wearing a Bayern Munich top. I don't see them putting another star on that, unfortunately. You know, Bayern Munich's team, their top players are coming out of contract. They're old. It's a new rebuild for them. It's going to be Real Madrid, Liverpool. And to be fair, I really love the way Liverpool playing. I don't think Real Madrid have played against a team like Liverpool, so they're not going to be ready for it. And I think if Mo Salah plays a great game and the rest of the team support him and play well as well, it's Liverpool's.
Harry.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna love watching a Liverpool Real Madrid final. I think Bayern Munich's injuries, like you said, Simon, earlier, are gonna have a little bit of an effect on them, unless they get together and they play a really hard game. And Real Madrid ends up not doing well at home, and doesn't play hard. And we don't. Marcelo's the key again. Yeah. I think he's gonna carry him. Ramos, Ronaldo as usual, and we saw what Asensio did in this last game, replacing Isco. So I think if they stick to that, I think it'll be great, and I'm looking forward to.
Guys, all I'm saying is this: if I was Liverpool, I would want to face Real Madrid, because and I really believe this, looking at this match, if Bayern Munich somehow get to the final, which I think they will, I don't think they're going to be that easy to beat, regardless of injuries. With that said, you're wearing a Bayern Munich jersey, you're wearing a USA jersey. All the fans out there can go to
ProSoccer.com
and type in
FoodBall
for 10% off
in the promo code. On top of that, you need to subscribe over here, wherever it is, to the show, so you can get notifications and you can listen to and do all the show things that we do. Don't forget, guys and gals, if you're in the Burbank area, head over to Buchanan's.
For sure.
It's the best pub around, family owned, and they'll be happy to take care of you. Buchanan Arms. We'll see you here.